Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today we get to open up the UniVersus Star Trek Lower Decks Sam Rutherford Challenger Series deck. In my last video, we opened up the Divana Attendee deck, so make sure you go check that out if you haven't already. Again, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to UVS Games for sending me this deck to open for you all, and make sure you go check out all of these decks when they hit stores on December 6th. I'm super excited to play all these different characters, and there's a lot of cool cards in these decks. So we are just going to jump right into this. Again, if you didn't see the last video, I did already open up the collector's booster pack because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to record this content due to PC issues. So I will show you what I pulled in that pack at the end, and you are definitely not going to want to miss it. Alrighty. So as usual, again, you have your Challenger Series booklet, shows you all the different cards and what you can pull. And then we have our new lenticular cards for Sam Rutherford, Resourceful Engineer. It's so cool to see him beaming up. And again, these cards are super, super sturdy. All right, let me get this opened up. And here we go. Sam Rutherford, our first character, 6-hander with 30 health, an instant and an inventor. It says response after a non-throw attack is played, switch its speed and damage. And it has enhanced this attack, it's +1 or -1 speed or damage. So you have a lot of choices with this character. You can first, with every attack, swap its speed and damage if it's not a throw, which a lot of characters can do, and some can do like just once per turn. So that's a pretty good ability right there. And then enhance this attack, it's +1 or -1 speed or damage. So you're given +1 speed or damage or -1 speed or damage. So a lot of options to choose with this character. And then we have the second character, which is the variation of the first, Sam Rutherford Devrin Racer, 7-hander with 21 health, and he is an inventor and says your tech attacks get +2 speed, just static, that has enhance once per turn and this enhance step. So you can just say, I did my enhance, you get yours, and then it's done. So this is a pretty cool ability, and I don't think we've seen this on a character before, so it's super interesting. And then it has first form, if your rival has 8 or more ready foundations, draw 1 card, your rival commits 1 foundation. So that's a pretty strong ability. If your rival builds out, you draw and they commit 1. So this is going to be a pretty interesting character to see. The tech attacks, I'm not too sure about. There are some good tech attacks, but not a ton. So we'll just see what comes out of this character. But starting off, we have our first card in the deck. It is a rare action, Strange Energies. It is a 0 difficulty tech card that says response after your rival plays a blitz ability or a non-character enhance ability, your rival checks against its 7. If they fail, cancel that ability. Now, I don't know too much about retro, but from what I've seen, this is, or heard mostly, this is a reprint essentially of a card called Revoke. So this is just a hand trap. You try to play a blitz ability or non-character enhance, and then you can try and stop it. And checking a 7 isn't the easiest thing to do in this game. So if they check a 3, not a lot of people are going to want to commit out 4 just to pass an enhance unless it's saving them or something. So this is going to be a cool card, and I think it's going to see a ton of play. Then we have Badgie, Vengeful Pal, which is the card that I pulled the alt of in the Attendee deck. It's a 3 difficulty asset with Breaker 1, an ally tech. It says response after you play this card, build it. So another asset where you're playing it and building it and clearing your card pool. And it says enhance once per turn on your turn. Your attack gets +3 damage. Any player may play this ability. So both players on their turns can give their attack 3 damage once per turn. I'm not a fan of the cards that say both players can play this. So I'm curious to see if this card gets much play, especially for assets, which are kind of, there's a lot of really good assets in the game right now. And then we have our really cool looking card that I showed off in the Attendee deck as well. Every deck has this card, just 1 copy of it, and there are 4 different alts of this card in the collector's boosters. It is the USS Cerritos NCC 75567. It's a 6 difficulty secret rare asset with a 4 check. And it's unique and says form once per turn, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 of them to your hand, 1 of them to the bottom of your deck, and 1 to the top of your deck. I think this is a super strong ability. I talked about it in the Attendee video as well. I think this will get a decent amount of play. The 6 difficulty is scary, like I said before, but we'll see. Then we have our first attack, an ultra rare 4 difficulty, Charged Alien Sploof. 3 low for 5. And this is the first time I'm seeing and reading most of these cards. I watched a lot of the reveals and stuff, but I haven't dug too much into Sam's deck. So this will be a learning process for me as well. It says, Blitz, your rival must commit 1 foundation as an additional cost to play enhance abilities during this attack. That's pretty good. And it says, response, after you play this attack, it gets +2 damage for each other tech attack in your card pool. So this is a really good card in the alt version of Sam, or the variation of Sam, because it's getting 2 speed right away. And if you played a couple of tech attacks before this, then it's getting like +2, +4 damage. So that is a pretty good card for him. Then we have Okie Dokie, a rare attack. It's a Frenzy, which is the Blitz. This attack gets +1 speed and +1 damage for each attack blocked this turn. That is a new keyword in the game. It's a 3 high for 5, and it says Blitz, draw 1 card and discard 1 card. This attack gains 1 keyword from the discard pile, which is pretty cool. There's a lot of cool stuff you'll be able to do with that. The rare foundation, it's unique, 3 difficulty, other self, enhance, remove, return this attack to its printed speed and damage. So just another stat reset card you can play, have some defense on the field. Under our attacks, we have betraying shove, 5 difficulty, 3 mids for 6 throw. It says Blitz, if this attack is not blocked, commit 1 rival foundation. And then we have Cyborg Slap, 2 low for 4, 3 difficulty attack with EX3, and then has an enhance from hand, discard. This attack gets +2 or -2 damage. We don't see a ton of hand enhances, so that's cool this deck gets 1. 3 of those. We have Delta Flyby, 5 difficulty, 3 mid for 7 with EX2. That is interesting. Got 4 of those. I feel like most of the challenger decks have just a blank attack with EX or powerful. It's a common trend. And then we have 4 difficulty, 3 high for 5, Neelix Cheese. These cards have some interesting names. It has powerful 2, it's a tech weapon, and it says Blitz, draw 1 card and discard 1 card. You may change this attack's damage to match the printed damage of the discarded card. Very interesting. So if you discard Betraying Shove, you've changed it from a 6 to, or from a 5 to a 6. That is interesting card. 3 of those. Then you have Virus Upload, 2 low for 6, stun 2, 5 difficulty. And it's another blank with stun 2. And I guess this could play into Neelix Cheese. You discard it, just put it to 6. I don't know if giving it 1 extra damage is a ton of value, but it's a cool concept. And that is all our attacks for this deck. Moving on to foundations, we have 2 difficulty, attention to detail. It says response after an attack is played. If its printed speed is 3 or less, it gets +1 damage. So kind of some support for lower speed attacks, which this deck has a couple of. We got 4 of those. And then we have Attitude Selector, 1 difficulty, says response, flip after you discard or remove 1 or more cards from your hand, draw 1 card. And there's a ton of discard and draw attacks with this deck. And the discard to set the attack to the discarded attack's damage is interesting to play with this foundation. Then we have Dial Adjustment, a 1 difficulty tech foundation that says enhance commit. This tech gets -2 speed and +2 damage. Kind of difficult in this deck to use this foundation because I feel like there's a lot of slower attacks. We have Don't Do This, 1 difficulty foundation. It says enhance, discard 1 card. The attack gains stun 1. Plays really well with Attitude Selector. Then we have Memory Upgrade, 1 difficulty, 6 check foundation. It says response flip. After your rival plays an attack, you may play the first enhance ability during its enhance step. Whoops, this card is super interesting. It basically gives you the first enhance on their attack. So I guess with Void, things like Cape of No Return, you can say, I'm going to take the first enhance and then enhance remove the attack. So that is an interesting concept. Next we have Power Drain, 2 difficulty foundation, enhance flip. Each player commits 1 foundation for every 5 foundations in their stage. Pretty straightforward. Then we have a 2 difficulty, redirect power to shields. Response commit, sacrifice 1 foundation. Before you take damage from an attack, reduce the damage you would take by 3. So just some DR for the deck. Then we have Sampaguita Pilot, probably butchered that. 2 difficulty, it says enhanced commit. This tech attack gets +2 damage. If your rival has not taken damage this turn, it gets +1 speed. 3 of those. And I believe this is our last foundation, Shutdown. 3 difficulty, response remove. After your rival plays an attack that shares a keyword with another attack in their card pool, skip this attack's enhanced step. So if they're playing multiple stuns, multiple EX, things like that, you can just skip it. Very interesting. But that is all of the cards in this deck. And of course, like I said, I already opened up the collector booster pack, but I will show you what I got inside. We have a foil special assignment, foil Delta flyby, foil rule of acquisition number 111, chronically dehydrated, and foil cyborg slap. So again, these are foils from all 4 of the decks, not just this one, but for the alt card in this deck, I did manage to pull a character. I pulled Divana Tendi, Mistress of the Winter Constellations, which is the variant character in the Divana Tendi deck. And this card looks so cool. It has the textured foil, and I now have to play this character because I pulled the alt. So super excited to pull that from these decks. Well, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, make sure to leave a comment below, leave a like on the video, and subscribe to the channel. And again, huge shout out to UVS Games for sending me these decks to show off to you all. I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good one.